Hello everybody and welcome back to Blocker's Bonus Stage as we play more Yugioh Capsule Monster Coliseum, starting the final area, but first, the oh-so-exciting task of shopping.
Congratulations! If you've gotten this far, all that's left is the championship. But I bet the duels from now on will be even more difficult. Make sure to analyze each battle, so that you can choose the best course of action, Yugi. Of course. What would you like to do?
So before we get started, first we have shopping. At this point, you should have access to all the monsters in the shop. For the most part, at least. Sometimes a couple monsters will not show up until you do a second playthrough. Like for example, I don't have access to Dancing Elf, which is a wind monster. I assume because my symbol is wood and beats wind, whatever symbol you pick, whatever it's strong against, sometimes very rarely, monsters for the type your attribute beats will not be available on the first playthrough. But it's usually like just one. But they're almost always available on the second playthrough. But now we have Pegasus, the second rematch with the Millennium Eye holder.
We meet again, Yugi boy.
Pegasus! I didn't think I'd be facing you again.
Don't think our fight will end the same way this time. I will get my revenge, Yugi boy.
I don't think so. I'll be victorious again. It's time to duel, Pegasus.
So, unlike the first duel, Pegasus is actually really tough. Yeah, he's no slouch here. Now if you notice, the stage looks like a giant chessboard. So there's a unique gimmick here, and I'll get to it in just a moment. I want to finish the spiel I was going on about shopping. So one thing about Area 5, well, in the other 4 areas, the shop updates as you complete each area. In the final area, monsters seem to trickle in as you beat individual stages, which is different. So that's one thing to prepare for. After each duel, you'll want to check the shop just in case, because sometimes monsters will show up like right before the second or last duel. Why this happens, I don't know. But usually on the second playthrough, everything that's available in the shop will be available now. Now, giving you a monster breakdown on what to bring out here is actually really difficult, because this is a very unique stage. This stage has some very unique gimmicks that you'll have to see in just a moment. So I'll explain them once I pick my monsters. There's actually 2 things in this stage we have not seen before, and will also never ever see again. So just pick your best monsters. That's all you really can do. Pick your all-star team and everything you've leveled up so far. That's really the best strategy. Yeah, it took me a while to pick because I had 126 monster points left, and I was trying to balance bringing out something good and, like I said in an earlier part, there's a limit to how many monsters you can bring based on the monster point limit. Okay. here's the unique gimmick. This stage, you are in total control of the attribute boosts. That's a tongue twister. Yes, no playing around and having to strategize with what the game gives you, but rather now, you get to pick whatever you like. Each side represents 4 of the 8 attributes. You can use your symbol to put it on one of those attribute spaces and turn half the board into a huge boost for said attribute. Pretty cool, right? So no more worrying about having to actually plan around what the game gives you. See how it's set up like a chessboard? You know, there's black and white spaces. Well, your side you're on now chooses the white spaces. And your symbol is the one in control of what attribute gets boosted. And it's a huge boost. It's a 50-point boost. As for obstacles, you also have random pillars that block you from making attacks. But it's not so bad.
The game is about to begin.
So yeah, the symbol actually has a functioning role outside of just being the piece you need to protect. So the strategy should be obvious. You'll want to go second, meaning winning the random drawing is essential. Do that. Win the random drawing. Do that. Go second, so you can choose your favorable side.
I'll tear down your defenses.
Now keep in mind, if you play Dark, Thunder, Wood, or Water, you'll automatically start off on the favorable side, as Pegasus always chooses the opposite. That opposite side being the one that houses Light, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Hey, the band. Cool, huh? I wonder if that's intentional or not. Yeah, if you play those 4 types, you have to win the second coin toss, so you can start on the second side.
This is going to be oh so fun.
Yeah, going second is important, so that way you can have the choice on what side you take. And you can always change the board at will. Remember, your pieces can only move 1 time per turn, so you can change the board, once per turn. Another standout about this duel is that Pegasus actually chooses... See, I'm going for wood now because that's my main symbol. Pegasus actually has a unique lineup of monsters depending on what side you choose. If you put him on the wood, water, thunder, dark side, he plays a totally different lineup of monsters. The only constant between these 2 sides is that he'll always play light monsters no matter what. On the default side, the one we're playing now, he plays 4 light and 3 earth, all of which are pretty strong, and 1 wind, which is also pretty powerful. It's Parrot Dragon, which is a card I actually really like, and it's got some good movement here too. And Pegasus also loves to boost light monsters, so his symbol will almost always be on the light symbol, giving them a big boost. So he definitely uses the ring to his full advantage. Now all the hard work I've put into Great Moth is gonna really come into play here.
Now is the time for evolution. Show your hidden strength.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. This thing is my reward for using that monster, Great Moth, all this time. Because that thing is an absolute beast. Granted, his defense is low for right now, because when you evolve a monster, they start off at level 1. So, but, he's stronger than regular Great Moth. He has 1 more attack range. He has the maximum of 3. Because remember, movement range is on a scale of 2 to 4. That's the maximum and the minimum. And then 1 to 3 for attack range. So Great Moth, or Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, theoretically has the maximum movement range and the maximum attack range. Doesn't get any better than that, folks. But yes, if you give Pegasus the opposite side, he still plays the majority of light monsters with 2 water, 1 dark, and 1 wood. It's slightly more manageable because he can't boost the light monsters, but his replacements are pretty good. And I'm doing my water because I have something else I want to do.
Now is the time for evolution. Show your hidden strength.
That's right, folks. I have leveled up my Root Water. Root Water has been my absolute best monster. I have used him in every duel since the first round. I'm pretty sure, at least. Maybe I missed him in a couple, but Root Water has been like Pikachu to me. He is...
I'll pay you back with interest.
Root Water has been just my guy, my ace in the hole, my go-to monster since literally the beginning of the game. He was the first monster I bought, and now he is evolved. His evolved form is called High Tide Yugioh, and he has really good movement and diagonal attack, 2 spaces. So it was well worth it, my friends.
I better think of another strategy.
So anyway, when it comes to unique monsters, you'll have to actually play Pegasus. You have to play this game and complete it 3 times. Because Pegasus plays multiple unique monsters. Like in this, if you pick this side, he plays 4 unique monsters. So you have to beat him on this side twice, and then on the other side once. Or it might be the other way around. I know there's one side you're going to have to beat him twice, because he plays 4 unique monsters. On the other side,
Victory's in my reach.
the side we don't choose, Pegasus plays Illusionist Faceless Mage and Jellyfish. And I'm gonna go back to wood here because I'm playing Great Moth. And you know, granted, I don't have him leveled up anymore because once you evolve something, they lose all their leveling. That's the one con about evolving. Yeah, that's the one con about evolving. And yeah, like I said, the boost from putting your symbols on these spaces is no joke. It's very high. Magician of Faith, that's a rare card. Carrot Idol. Parrot Dragon.
This is getting difficult.
And he has Jigen Bakudan, which the only other way to get this card is to dual Mai. But more than likely you took both Harpy Ladies, so... Yeah, one thing I like about this duel is it's actually kind of a warm-up to what to expect from the King Coliseum area. Yeah, anyway, that root water has been really loyal to me because, I mean, I've used him so much. I've leveled him up to the maximum, and now he's pretty much at his top form. So, yeah. Again, since the level's so high, this stage is also really good for evolution. Yeah, I feel like this stage is actually a somewhat decent palate cleanser and an idea of what to expect for the rest of the stages in King Coliseum.
That was a lot of damage, but it survived.
And I feel bad if Root Water just got destroyed like the first turn I play, and that would suck. He survives. I guess that's a spoiler, but most duels in the King Coliseum aren't just hard. You know, I mean, I don't really think they're insanely, like, crazy harder than anything you faced before. Though keep in mind, most of my monsters are leveled up. All my monsters that I'm going to be using for the most part are pretty leveled up anyway. So, you know, maybe it's, you know,
Don't think your actions won't be avenged.
like, maybe the difficulty's just deflated because, you know, I have done really well in this game leveling up monsters. You know, not to brag, obviously. But anyway, back to the point. Most duels in the King Coliseum area are not necessarily difficult, but a lot of them do have some kind of gimmick. And aren't really necessarily straightforward. You know, curveballs and swerves you really have to be prepared for. And Great Moth, or Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth now, even though he's still level 1, is destroying is destroying Pegasus's monsters. My mistakes. I had my Valentine on the mind. You know something I wonder? How does everyone qualify for the new path? You know, like, we beat Area 4 and this tower rose up. Did the tower rise up because Yugi won? Or did it come up because everyone who was in here had qualified for the finals already? Yeah, the rules for this tournament are actually never explained. We know what you have to do. You just have to beat 5 opponents in an area and then move on to the area. But it never really tells you how everyone else has to qualify. If it's a bracketed tournament, if there's star chips, or heck, even if you lose, you get eliminated. Because we've beaten everyone in King Coliseum already, so shouldn't they be eliminated? But it's interesting to note, in Pegasus' first duel, he says Yugi is his next opponent. Not my first opponent, implying Pegasus has been climbing the ranks of this tournament just like we have. Talking about strategy in this stage is kind of hard because there's so many variables. I mean, I don't know what symbol you have. Like, I can't tell you what symbols or what you know, where to play and what attributes to boost up, because you could have a totally different symbol from me and need to go on the other side, and you could be forcing Pegasus to play the opposite, like, lineup of monsters of his. So, you know, it's tough for that reason.
My mystical powers didn't tell me that this duel would be so difficult.
But also keep in mind, there's no penalty for surrendering and losing the game and losing a duel at this point. So if you lose the coin toss, or if you lose the random shuffle game to go first,
Don't think your actions won't be avenged.
if you lose the random shuffle game to go first, don't worry about it, because you can reset or, I mean, surrender and just start over. There's no penalty at this point.
This duel is not looking so good.
Like, theoretically, there are awards for doing really well in duels, but those have all passed to this point. There's no penalty for losing anything now. Obviously, losing a duel is an automatic game over. But, I mean, you can just start over, so... Oh yeah, that's another thing I haven't mentioned. Any monster that gets destroyed, you can't play them in the next duel. So, even if you win and a monster of yours got destroyed, it's not available in the next duel. So, keep that in mind. Oh, also, breaking the fourth wall a little. I recently bought the official Prima PlayStation 2 strategy guide for this game. Like the actual book. So, I think once this playthrough's over, I'm going to do a bonus part where I actually look through that book and go through some of the changes and just some other stuff. One funny thing about me is I actually really like to collect strategy guides. Now, I know the internet has pretty much made those books completely superfluous. There's a big fancy word. Yeah, the internet has made those books kind of useless, but I like them better than internet guides because internet guides often don't have text, or often are just text. You know, those books have, like, detailed drawn diagrams.
This
And
will
we won the
finish
duel.
you.
Oh, I shouldn't have underestimated you. That's the only reason you won.
Yeah, those books, I love those books because they have a lot of artwork and they're professionally made. There's not just text.
It seems victory has abandoned me.
Victory is a fickle creature. She may smile upon you again someday.
Maybe so. And when that day comes, beware, Yugi boy.
Right. Goodbye, Pegasus.
That was a nice ending. Yeah, I love those books because they have diagrams and... Yeah, I guess you could watch YouTube videos, but... Like, there's nothing like actual drawn... You know, pictures and all that stuff actually telling you how to do it. Or how to beat those games. Okay, Magician of Faith, Parrot Dragon, and Carrot Idol are exclusive to this stage. So those might be the ones you want to get. I think it's other monsters that are all unique. Tune in next time when we take on a Shizu for the second time. See you there, folks. Have a good one.